Hello, and greetings from the Lancaster County Career and Technology Center. My name is Dr. Stiles, and I'm here today to talk to you about the opportunities that you have looking forward to next school year. As 10th or 11th grade students, we've got a variety of options available for you. Certainly something that you should keep in mind as you go through your school year this year, and we look at applications for next school year. For years, I spent time talking about career development with students. It's my greatest passion as a school counselor. And there's three things that you need to consider when you consider your future. And by the way, the first one is not what college do I want to go to after I graduate. We'll talk a little bit more about that later, but more importantly, what do you want to do for a living? What do you see yourself doing 5 years from now, 10 years from now? What is that dream job or that goal that you have to reach? What is it you want to be? That's the most important piece. It's your future. You're the one that's going to be living there. You need to make those decisions and think about the kind of training or education you're going to need to become whatever it is you want to be. So what do you want to do or be? And secondly, what is the best kind of training or education to get that job that you want to do? And the third question then is, what school or training place do I go to get the education or training that I need to do that job? And it should be in that order. So keep that in mind as you're thinking about your future, and possibly the Career and Technology Center will have some programs that could help catapult you into your future a little bit more quickly or a little bit more effectively. Just a few numbers to consider in this slide. Between 2012 and 2022, there will be over 50 million job openings for career and technology education graduates. So what that means is that the jobs that we teach here at the CTC, the skill sets that we teach here at the CTC, are in incredibly high demand. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the numbers keep growing. We will continue to have jobs and availability in these areas, which means that the world has kind of opened up for you with that training. 95% of CTE students earned competent or advanced scores in NOCTI skills testing in 1819. Remember, last spring we were not in school, so we didn't have NOCTI testing in the 2020 spring there. But 95% of our students score advanced or competent, and those are great numbers across the state and across the nation. Lancaster CTC does a great job preparing students. And always want to ask yourself, what is your return on investment for your time and money? Are you getting the education that you need to do what you want to do? As educators, as parents, as guiders for you folks, adults need to be constantly reminding you that you want to invest your money well, you want to invest your time well, as importantly, and get the training and the education you need to be as successful as absolutely possible in your future. One way to look at that is this pie chart here. What it tells us is, and these numbers, by the way, again, from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Through my research, I found that these numbers haven't really changed much since the 1950s when my father was in high school. Only 20% of all jobs initially require a 4-year college bachelor's degree. We do a really good job of telling every student to go to college. And actually, I will say that that's true. College is required of every student, but not necessarily a 4-year degree pathway. College is defined as education or training beyond high school. So it's post-secondary education. It includes apprenticeships, it includes on-the-job training, it includes military training, it includes 2-year schools, technical schools, and of course our 4-year universities are wrapped up in that college term as well. College isn't just 4-year degrees, and 4-year degrees are not for everyone. 1/5 or 20% of all jobs require 4-year degrees. 65% then are high skill jobs. They require education or training beyond high school, college, but not necessarily 4-year degrees, at least not initially. You can get into the job market with skills training. It's a very lucrative way to get into the job market. And then certainly beyond that, down the road, you can earn more degrees as your employer or your career pathway see fit. But initially, it's not necessarily required. Here's another slide that kind of encapsulates that for you, the 1-to-7 ratio that Ken Gray came up with, actually. Dr. Ken Gray is a professor emeritus at Penn State University. He did this research a long time ago, actually, but the data hasn't changed. And what this tells us, the 1-to-7 ratio, For every one person in the economy, every one job in the workforce that requires a master's degree plus, there are 2 bachelor's degree jobs available, and that's your 20%. That's 2 out of 10. And 7 associate's degree or certificate jobs. So that's the 65 to 70% of jobs that require skills training and technical training beyond high school. Again, the 1%, or the 10%, I'm sorry, the 1 out of 10 that require a master's degree plus. I have a doctorate degree in educational leadership. Many of you in my audience today may be considering going on for an advanced degree someday, and that's an impressive feat if you decide to go that way and earn that degree. But know that less than 3% of all jobs require a doctorate degree. There's very, very few jobs out there that require that to get into the field, especially, and certainly to thrive within the market once you earn it. Looking at some of our programs by campus, at the Mount Joy campus, we have the Construction Center, Commercial Construction Management, and Residential Carpentry. The residential carpentry students each year build a home, which eventually gets completed by all of the different construction areas. We'll look at some more construction programs at the Brownstown campus here in a minute. But they work together. Students, teachers, and advisors from around the county and community work together to build a home that eventually gets sold to a member of the community. So they take great pride in their work, build a very modern home with all the modern amenities and modern techniques in construction. Consumer services, early childhood education. If you're considering a career in an elementary school or a daycare center or working with kindergartners or preschoolers, and you want to go on for more training or you want to come out with certification from early childhood education, this is a great way to start your educational pathway, your career pathway to working with children in an educational setting. The Culinary Arts Center has baking and pastry arts, culinary arts chef, and hospitality business management. All 3 of these programs work together to operate a student-run restaurant at the Mount Joy campus. It's open to the public a few days a week, and people can come in and really enjoy the fruits of the labor of the students that take those programs. We'll talk more about the Hospitality Business Management program here in a moment. Advanced Manufacturing Center includes electromechanical engineering, precision machining, computer-aided manufacturing, metals fabrication, and welding. Everything that you come in contact with on a daily basis, from the chair that you might be sitting in to the desk that you use to write on to your iPhone, has technology in it, and it was manufactured somewhere by someone or a group of people. So everything was manufactured, everything was made. You think about precision machining, those are the folks that make the parts that create larger components for us to utilize. I mentioned the smartphone there. Your smartphone has more parts than just a screen, a couple of buttons, and a case. There's probably 1,000 parts inside of there that are precision machined to work together so that smartphone does all the things that you need it to do in the course of a day. And finally, Mount Joy off campus, we have what's called the Protective Services Academy. The students there focus on law enforcement, EMT, and fire protection, and become our local and national heroes in the future after they graduate and get jobs in those fields, taking care of their community and keeping all of us safe. Coming back to Hospitality Business Management, this is a program within the Culinary Center. A couple of details. Hospitality and tourism were the second leading industry in Pennsylvania pre-pandemic. Hospitality Business Management prepares students for several different in-demand careers, including front office, banquet management, restaurant management, housekeeping management, all the different areas you can think of at a resort, a cruise line, or a hotel. This program can give you the skills that you need to get into that field to really excel in taking good care of people and having excellent customer service day in and day out. As it says there, the world can be your office. You can literally work anywhere you want. You can work in the Caribbean. You could work for a Disney resort. You could move across the country and live in California. Events planning and business management in hotels and hospitality, it's everywhere. It's a service industry, helping people. It's fun and exciting, and for many of you who get bored easily, no 2 jobs are ever the same. So it's a great opportunity for someone who likes to be active and take good care of people. This could be a really, really good fit for you as you look into senior year and beyond. Here we have a video from one of our graduates, Geneva Rutt from 2020. is going to talk about why she looked at CTC as an option for her schooling.
I'm the youngest of three kids, and my brother and sister both went through CTC, different programs, as well as my parents. My mom actually used to teach as like a substitute for the cosmetology class at Willow Street for a little while. So my entire family went through CTC. So my entire life, it was always, okay, when you go to 11th grade, you're going to CTC, and that's what I did. And for a while there, I wanted to do construction. I had no idea that I was going to end up in the hospitality field. And honestly, when I look back on it, I have thought about this for a couple days now. I don't really know what it was that made me want to do hospitality. I think I realized I was a people person and I could really just talk to anyone at any time. So I was like, you know what? I like event planning. I like traveling. This is perfect. Like, it's the perfect industry for me. So I went ahead, I researched the class. I talked to Miss Shepler, the teacher, a lot, and I toured it more than once. And I really loved it. I actually spent a day in my 11th grade year and I went to Mountjoy just to spend a day with the actual class, just to see what a typical day was. And it was amazing. I was so excited to join the class and I don't regret it at all. It was probably the best decision I've ever made in my life.
And here's another graduate, Emily Keller from 2016, who's actually working now in the events industry as an events manager in Baltimore. She's going to talk about what the most interesting project was for her in her senior year.
And I think that it's not for every year, but for my year at least, we got to plan an actual wedding. And that was the most helpful and the most cool thing that we did that entire year, because the bride actually came in and we sat down with her. We planned everything from start to finish. And we actually went to the wedding that day. We set everything up. So it was really important for us to see the whole process of that, because we got to see it from the very beginning and then at the very end with the finished product, which is very satisfying as a student to go through the entire process and see like the birth and the ending of a whole event and the process of it. That was the best part of the year for sure.
Taking a look at the Brownstown campus of CTC, we have another large sector of the construction center here: architectural CAD and design, cabinet making and wood technology, electrical construction technology, heavy equipment operations and basic maintenance, HVAC/R, which is heating, venting, air conditioning, and refrigeration, the men and women who keep us comfortable in our homes and buildings when it's cold or warm outside. They make sure that it is comfortable inside for us. Painting and interior finishes and plumbing. Excuse me. In the Information Technology Center, we have computer systems technology. These are the men and women who take computers apart, repair them, diagnose them. They also work a lot with networking and earn Cisco certification through that process and some other certifications as well. It's a huge part of all of our programs is getting certified and getting those entry-level certifications to get started in the job market. So Computer Systems Tech has those opportunities. And within the Visual Communication Center, we have commercial art, digital design, print media, and interactive media web design, and finally photography and digital imaging. So if you've always connected yourself to kind of being a creative person interested in the visual arts, we've got some great programs here at Brownstown that could really propel you into those areas of the workforce and be very successful with that training. In the construction center, we mentioned plumbing. This is one of our wonderful construction programs that a lot of students don't even give a second look to, which is interesting because plumbing impacts each and every one of our lives in very positive ways every single day. We use plumbing all the time. We like to have water come to our sink when we're washing dishes or cleaning ourselves. Modern plumbing, as it says there, is a cornerstone of new construction and reconstruction. Lots of different areas like pipe fitters, new construction. The average wage for plumbers, a lot of people don't know this, $26 an hour after 4 years of apprenticeship training. And by the way, and it says in a bullet later there in the slide, apprenticeship training is paid training. So electricians can actually come to the CTC and get started on their apprenticeship work and be very successful within 3 years after graduating from high school, making a fantastic wage. And not necessarily doing all the dirty work that most of us kind of envision in our mind connected to a plumbing career. And as with all the things that we teach at the CTC, especially in the construction and manufacturing areas, there is a huge shortage of workers in the plumbing industry. So lots of need, very few students going into it. That means it's a great opportunity for you to get involved in this and to be very successful. Excuse me. Here is one of our OAC members, Occupational Advisory Committee members for the plumbing field, Evan Grable, who's the president of his own company, talking about what he sees with students entering the workforce and emerging modern advanced technologies within the CTC.
And there's this technology now that, Moan Flow, for example, has this thing where, you put it on your plumbing system and it'll sense leaks in your plumbing system and automatically shut down your whole house if it senses a leak. I have one at my house and it shut off because my 4-year-old was using the garden hose and left the hose running. So the sensor picked that up and it shut it off. And then I got a call and my wife said, we don't have any water. So I went on my phone and I went on the app and I turned my water main valve on to the house from my phone. If I would ask one of my senior service technicians to troubleshoot that unit through their app, they could probably do it, but it'd be a lot harder. Our senior guys are relying on some of the guys that have been through the school that are a little bit more tech savvy to take care of those issues a little bit more faster. So it is kind of cool to see the younger generation pick up on that technology a lot quicker, where someone that's been in the trade 30 years struggles a little bit. So it is kind of cool to see that transition where we're kind of working as a team, where the senior plumbers and the newer plumbers are kind of working together in that. And I see that quite a bit, where one of my senior techs will just hand the phone over to one of my younger techs and say, like, you take care of it. So it's kind of fun to see. But
cooperative education, or co-op as we call it here at the CTC, is one of the most amazing opportunities for our students. It gives them the opportunity to go and earn and learn at the same time from professionals in the industry that they're most interested in. Here is Angie Havas, a human resources professional from Brubaker Incorporated, to talk about her experiences with co-op and CTC.
Actually, at Brubaker's, we're a firm believer in the early co-op program. So with both all three, HVAC, electrical, and plumbing, the co-op program allows them to come out 1 day a week starting in the fall. So in reality, they might have been only in the school system for a month and a half. And we have co-op students here working. It starts at 1 day a week, then it goes to 2 days a week. This year being the exception with COVID, but before that we would have 3 days a week. As soon as they were done their NOCD testing, they were here 5 days a week. So by the time they graduate from your program and they're sending high school, they have been on our payroll usually for 7 months. And then our whole goal is, and we say it during the interviews all along, our goal is when you graduate the program that you've already been working with us for 5 days a week. We want you to continue to do that. That's a sign of a successful co-op. If there's any reason that we think that's not going to happen, we're having dialogues, and we encourage the student as well. If they are getting into it and they're saying, hey, this is not something that's for me, we just don't want any surprises, and we'll try to have them find something that is for them. But we retain our employees. We love the co-op program, especially for our plumbing and HVAC. Our electrical side of our business is small. We would probably love that program if we were growing as fast as we were growing in the plumbing and heating side as well. But we get very good employees out of the co-op program. So yeah, there's definitely a major investment in our end of it, but we get that return on the investment very early.
At our Willow Street campus, we have the Health and Agri-Science Center. So basically, if you want to work with animals or humans in the future in the healthcare sector, we have programs that will meet your needs. We have animal production science and technology and veterinary assistant. which both work with animals, animal production science, usually more focused on larger animals, vet tech or vet assistant, working with smaller animals. And there is a veterinary technician program at the CTC for adults that does lead out of the vet assistant program. So that's a wonderful stepping stone into one of our very own post-secondary programs for students that want to continue their education beyond the veterinary assistant certification. We have patient care technician, dental assistant, medical administrative assistant, which I'll talk a little bit more in detail here in a moment, medical assistant, nursing assistant, home health aide, and sports medicine and rehabilitative technician. And in all of those programs, you're going to get intense study in anatomy and physiology, pharmacology, bedside techniques for working with patients and taking good care of patients, and certainly, up to the date, state-of-the-art labs that can teach you the things that you need to know to go out into the world, and do some clinical internships as well while you're learning those. In the Transportation Center, we have automotive technology, collision repair technology, diesel equipment technology, and RV and outdoor power equipment. Transportation programs tend to be some of our more popular ones, but if you enjoy things that operate with motors and have wheels, these could be some very, very good programs for you to learn the ins and outs of how those pieces of machinery operate effectively and safely for the consumer. A highlighted program here, medical administrative assistant. They can work in just about any facet of healthcare. They do tasks such as medical office work in hospitals, urgent care facilities, outpatient laboratories, radiological facilities, nursing homes, and pharmacies. If you want to work in healthcare, but you don't want to do direct patient care, you don't want to handle needles, you don't want to handle bedpans, you don't want to be changing bed sheets in a hospital setting, this could very well be the field for you. They're experts in registration, insurance, billing, and coding. Prepare students for front desk receptionist, patient receptionist specialist, medical records technician, medical secretary, etc. Wonderful program for students who want to get into the healthcare field, but they are not interested in direct patient care. It's a good field to get into. Here's one of our graduates to speak about his experiences with medical administrative assistant training.
What I say about CTC is different from a high school. CTC, I feel like because our instructors have worked in the field, they know everything about what's in the field. And Miss Masano was a huge part of why I feel so prepared. It's just because the knowledge that she gained in a hospital, she shared it with us. And it was Miss Masano was our boss, and then we were her employees. And it's just the way she taught us, how she did step by step with everything, and how she broke everything apart. And it's just with the hands-on stuff, all the skills, I just feel with all that and then her knowledge giving to us, we know what to expect in a hospital, a doctor's office, anywhere we go to work. And then the interviewing too, when we had the interview period, when we actually had real people from the directors of hospitals come in and interview us, I feel now we're prepared for the interview too.
So Julian got excellent training and preparation to go into the field of work that he was interested in through the training in the medical administrative assistant program. Another highlighted program, sports medicine and rehabilitation technician. Sorry, I stumbled my words there. I hear a lot of students out when I'm working with students out at the districts talking about how they want to be a physical therapist. That's become quite a hot topic in the career world. This could be a good stepping stone for you. Most students from this program continue their education in 2, 4, 6-year college degree programs. Of course, to be a physical therapist today, you need to have a doctorate degree, so that's a part of it. Students taught anatomy and physiology, patient care techniques, athletic training techniques, which most of you are familiar with from your high school sports teams, physical therapy techniques, exercise program creation, the basics of nutrition, and much, much, much more. Personal trainers require a minimum of a bachelor's degree, with most getting master's degrees, and specialize with yearly continuing education requirements after beginning your career. And an important note there for what we teach at CTC, certainly through sports medicine, rehabilitative technician, and others, learning never stops. And our CTC programs are a wonderful, as I've mentioned a few times, stepping stone, a starting stone to get you started on your career path. But in order to be successful in any of the fields that we teach, And I would wager anything that you folks are interested in doing in your future, if we don't teach it at CTC, is lifelong learning, continued learning throughout your lifespan. It's going to be very, very critical for you to be successful. Michael Hudson, a 2018 graduate, is attending Penn State as a physical therapy assistant, and we're going to hear from him in what the CTC did to help solidify his interest in the field.
I was hoping that this would be the class that it would propel me to be motivated to do something in the future. So like I was hoping it would make me find out what I wanted to do, and it did. It made me find out that I wanted to do be a physical therapy assistant, and because all my life I wanted to help people, and if I was there and just kind of made me think if I was there to help somebody every step of the way, get better, progress, seeing them day 1 to day 50, and just knowing that I was able to help them each and every day get to where they wanted to be in their lives. It just kind of motivated me just to make them feel kind of needed. And like I said, it just kind of made me feel good to, help them with what they wanted to achieve their goal. And that class, sports medicine rehabilitation, over at the Willow Street campus kind of, put that idea into motion and taught me the skills that I needed to know for college and what I'm doing now.
Hannah Wheeler, who also took the sports medicine rehabilitation technician program, graduated in 2019, talks about how she stayed connected to her high school. That's one question we get from a lot of students. If I go to CTC, can I stay connected to my high school? Can I still do things there? And Hannah can give us some firsthand perspective on that question.
I was actually a representative on Student Senate, and so that was super cool to be connected in that way, of more of a structured organizational type of sense. But then I think senior year is kind of crazy, so you're not always seeing your friends in all the classes you want because they're more tailored to you anyway. So I thought it was actually a lot nicer just to see them on more of an intentional type of way. If it wouldn't just be in the hallway, it'd be how are your classes? How are you doing? How's the high school type of thing? But I was there almost every day, I think, because I did track and then I did cross country. And so I was always, not always, but I was there really often, or pretty often, just practicing every day, meets. So you can be very upfront of these are the dates that I have this going on, and it's super simple just to head back to your sending school.
Some advantages of coming to the CTC. We've talked about the programs. We've talked a little bit about the career development piece, thinking about what you want to do, what the best training is, and what the best school or training option is for that training. Dual enrollment. You've heard this in your schools. Most of your high schools have dual enrollment opportunities. One opportunity we have is college and the high school through HAC with LCCTC healthcare programs. So dual enrollment is a piece that's at CTC that can help you to earn college credits while you are still in high school. That's a great idea for anyone to do if you're thinking about going on to post-secondary, to get those credits cheaper and through your high school program. It's a great way to do it. Clinical placements. We have those in a lot of different areas. Healthcare and early childhood programs. The Protective Services Academy has ambulance ride-ons, which are considered to be a clinical placement. You go to the doctor's offices, you go to the hospitals. The early childhood education program goes into elementary schools and daycare centers, and they work directly within those settings, and they work alongside people who are doing the work that they want to learn about, and they get firsthand knowledge of what it is they want to know. So that's a great way to learn. Some of us learn well through book work and assignments and those kind of things, but I think most people do really, really well when they're exposed to things directly. And the clinical placement of many of our programs allows that opportunity to see firsthand what's going on in the industry and how you could fit into it. Advanced Placement Internship, or API. We've got pre-apprenticeship articulations with Keystone Associated Builders and Contractors in Mount Joy. Metals Fab, HVAC, plumbing, residential carpentry, commercial construction, electrical, culinary baking, manufacturing programs, and more offer advanced placement internship opportunities for students. It's a great way to go out, as we say, to earn and learn. during your senior year to get that experience, and through cooperative education and API, some of our students get paid a wage to do that. So it's a good opportunity for many of our students to learn and grow within their field. Some other advantages. SOAR stands for Students Occupationally and Academically Ready. So SOAR programs offer course credit toward a college degree, diploma, or certificate program as a result of skills and tests gained in a high school career and technology education program. And 28 of our programs are approved for program of study. And there is a website that you can go to. If you type in SOAR PA, you're going to learn about the different colleges that will give credits for your CTC experience and what you've learned here. Some of them give enough credits to actually opt you out of an entire semester of learning based on what they know that you've learned in your CTC program if you've done it successfully, to get those college credits and move forward. A minimum of 9 credits, it says, at Pennsylvania Community College and other post-secondary institutions. So SOAR is a wonderful opportunity to advance our students, something we're very proud of, something the state has worked hard on. And we think the time has come that we recognize the work that the students are doing here. We've got some career and technology student organizations, CTSOs we call them. Skills USA is a competitive organization where you compete within your skills area, locally, regionally, and even nationally as you move on through the competition, and a lot of scholarship money is attached to that. So students will go and do their competitions and get scholarship money and continue into their post-secondary. NTHS is National Technical Honor Society, like the National Honor Society at your high school, but it's more focused on the technical students that we teach here at the CTC. HOSA is the Health Organization Student Association, and FFA, of course, many of you have that in your ag programs. Students get all kinds of opportunities to be involved. Our student ambassadors are trained to work with others who come here to tour our buildings to visit. Maybe some of you remember visiting our CTC campuses in 8th grade. We had student ambassadors that took you around our building and shared with you their experiences, and we're really proud of them, that they're proud of the work that they're doing. So some great opportunities. You can certainly stay involved at your sending schools, as Hannah mentioned earlier, but you're more than welcome to get involved here at CTC as well and make this a great place for your schooling. Real world experiences. We talked about co-op earlier. Usually cooperative education hourly salary ranges from $10 to $15 an hour. In the 1920 school year, 252 students participated in co-op. And that changes year to year, depending upon how many students qualify. Certainly clinical placements we've talked about, API we've talked about. We've got the Infusions restaurant at the Mount Joy campus, which is that restaurant I talked about, student-run restaurant, open several days a week to the public. The Mount Joy Early Learning Center, the Mike Curley Early Learning Center for students to learn about daycare training within their own school. And certainly the Mount Joy Culinary Center offers catering for events around the county that you could become involved in and have that real world experience based on the training you get at the Mount Joy Culinary Center. I'm not going to read these to you. Obviously, these are some of the employers and companies that work with our students, with our programs to hire them. I want you to just take a look there and see if you recognize any that might be near you in your geographic area of Lancaster County. But these are folks that work with us to employ our students. And you can see all kinds of different areas there, from construction to healthcare to, technology companies, nursing homes. Many, many folks are out there just very interested in having CTC trained students come and work for them. They know the caliber of students that we can create here if they've got their head in the game. Some post-secondary opportunities after CTC. Again, these are all schools that we have noted that our students have gone on to. I'll let you take a look at those as well. I'm not going to read those, but some local ones that are very recognizable, and maybe some there that you don't recognize. And again, I'll mention there, Lancaster County Career and Technology Center is mentioned in that list. We do have post-secondary education opportunities for students, and can make them very successful right here in your own backyard, right here in Lancaster County through our training. Military opportunities. 32 of our students indicated last year that they were joining the military, and certainly on-the-job opportunities, on-the-job training is something that many of our students will take advantage of. Some information that, you might have questions for your school counselors, and I do encourage you strongly, if you've got questions about the CTC, sending school partnerships, which it is very much a partnership. We love working with our districts and working with shared students here at the CTC. But you may have questions. 70% of students go on to post-secondary schooling and training. Again, college, training beyond high school, education or training beyond high school. 70% of our students go on for more. They don't generally stop with what they learn at CTC. Many students earn between 3 and 13 college credits while they're still here at the CTC through dual enrollment. How do you get your credits for graduation? As long as you're up to date with your credits through the end of your junior year, you've passed all of your classes, you've got all of your credits, you're on track to graduate. All of the other credits that you need to lead towards your diploma from your high school will be taken care of here at the CTC. How much does it cost? It's free for you. Your school district will pay for you to come here. They're happy to do that, to train the students that are interested in CTC training, but it is a financial burden on them, so they want serious students to attend the CTC. You pay for your uniforms. Occasionally a certification test, and occasionally some tools within a program area, but for the most part, for what you get out of your CTC training, the cost is very, very, very minimal. Can you still participate in your extracurricular activities? We heard about that earlier. We encourage you to stay as involved as you like in your home school, in your sending school. Stay playing those sports, being involved in the musicals. We've had folks here, students here, that were involved in musicals and fall plays and marching band and sports. You name it, student council, student government, they've done all of those things and made it work. If you're interested enough and active enough, you can make that work too. Combine career and technical education training in your sophomore, junior, or senior year with activities and education back at your sending school, and you can really blend it all to make a great, great outcome for yourself. You can scan this code to go online to a form where you can indicate your top interests in the Lancaster County CTC programs by campus. This will help to start a conversation with your school counselor at your sending school so that they can get an idea for which of their students on their caseloads are interested in what we do here at CTC. And we certainly hope that's many of you. It's good opportunities for the right students. But please fill out that form if you have interest in the CTC and learning more. We want to keep the conversation open. This year, of course, with the pandemic, things are different. We're not going to have you in here for in-person visits, but we will be able to share the CTC with you through some other visual means and some virtual means as we move forward. Excuse me. Half-day programs. These are introductory programs that are offered to 10th and 11th graders. There are 6 of them. Introduction to construction careers, culinary arts careers, health careers, manufacturing careers, transportation careers, and visual communications careers. Mount Joy specifically for the schools regional to there does not offer visual communications, but I believe that they're offered at the other campuses. So you can talk to your school counselor. That kind of varies by district, how those programs are offered to you, but we do have programs for 10th and 11th graders to kind of get a taste of CTC and to kind of get a taste of the world of work and the training that we offer here, to get involved and really aware of what's happening, to maybe pick a program for senior year for full day. Advanced Health Careers is another half-day program. This is for seniors. It's offered at Willow Street and Mount Joy. A lot of the program focuses on shadowing healthcare professionals in a variety of clinical settings. So these students are going to be out in the workforce. They're going to be out in the hospitals, out in the doctor's offices, at Women's and Babies. They're going to be learning about what their career interests are firsthand as they are live, sometimes in operating rooms, certainly in the hospital wings, learning what those jobs are all about, interacting with patients, clients, and coworkers. And these students definitely have the opportunity to earn college credit, 6 college credits from HAC through high school and dual enrollment. So great opportunity for an advanced healthcare's interested student to take that half day during senior year. It's a lot of information that I just gave you. My time clock is telling me 37 minutes and 37 seconds right now. So a lot of information, full day programs, half day programs, cooperative education, advanced placement internship, post-secondary training, military training, apprenticeship. We talked about a lot of different things, and the CTC just has a lot of different things to offer students. If you have questions, please reach out to your sending school counselor. They know our CTC programs quite well. They're in direct communication with us here at the CTC all the time. We love our partnership, again, with all of them. Please reach out with your questions and your interests. We want to see many of you applying for next school year and hopefully attending our CTC in the future. Again, I'm Dr. Stiles, school counselor at the Brownstown campus. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I hope you learned things, and we look forward to meeting you in the future. Have a great day.